Hello, I'm back. I had a complete 8-minute video written and ready to make as my sort of comeback this year that was all about what it's like to work on a professional D&D book and works of art in general. But you know, maybe now isn't the best time for that. Fuck, man. So let's talk about plasmoids in the meantime while things develop. Since the start of D&D, oozes have always been these stupid, brainless globs of flarp where someone loses that little fart jar so the flarp gets really hungry and it just starts eating people. They're actually demon spawn from Jublex, a demon god drawn by Junji Ito that gets shit on in its Wikipedia page. It's actually really funny. But in spite of that, Chris Perkins and his team of goblins became a miniature giant space hamster and decided that ooze can be flubber. Flubber can be a guy, and maybe also he can have a gun sometimes. This tiny-ass book from the Spelljammer set gave us 3 paragraphs to chew on and play with an idea that most of us have at one point. I want to play as a ooze. Plasmoids are essentially a nerve network suspended in jello that acts as a gateway to a buttload of ideas like jelly citadels, blue raspberry Jabba the Hutts, Hakalugi pirates, sticky suits of sentient armor, and for some reason gelatinous sex. There's like a total of 8 things that the book gives us about them, and weirdly enough we have no idea how they even eat. They're not acidic or corrosive like almost every other ooze, and they mainly inhabit the astral plane but need to breathe. Like, what the fuck does that mean? It's a glob of spit with brain tissue, and it has the ability to hold its breath, but only for an hour. The book literally states that they absorb oxygen, which, you know, is the physical elemental chemical that we have here on Earth, but they all chill out in a space that is defined by a lack of atmosphere. Also, they fuck, but only 4 times, and only by merging, and then one of them randomly creates a memoryless baby by budding. From what little information we have about them, they're more closely related to SpongeBob and potatoes than they are to the father of slime. They're also able to speak space common, again by pushing out air in space. I'm gonna stop harping on physics in a game where you can fly around and shoot fireballs and use magic rings and playing cards to wish for corn dogs, but that's just a little goofy. In addition to gracious information about mitosis, we've been given 3 subtypes of plasmoids. There's explorers, warriors, and the boss. Plasmoid explorers are sort of the baseline for how this species can be used. Just like any adventurer, they roam around realities and planes just kinda checking shit out. Where gelatinous cubes keep their goods and services inside of themselves, plasmoids will actually pick up containers for, I don't actually know. Oxygen? This guy's got a little mattock and some spears, so maybe they collect rocks and like meat and stuff. I mean, look at him, he's on a little quest. He doesn't even know what kind of quest, he got no brain. Then we have the warriors, possibly the first and only subspecies with 1 sentence describing them. They have a higher AC than explorers, being able to harden their goopy carapace with armament haki. But you know that they still need shields too, because I'd imagine they're made to be hired guns or members of pirate crews, but since they're challenge rating 3, you can't have too many of them swarming your average party. It'd be cool for a lower level party to face gun-toting oozes as bounty hunters, or to have them be standalone bodyguards for some space-faring warlock dude. Or as a suit of armor with nerves and memories, sorta like the Iron Man suit, but completely see-through. Imagine fighting inside of a slime person with your tallywhacker just flying around, and also there's a gun. It's stated that they can have up to 5 active pseudopods, and that's 100% because they needed humanoid limbs and a stump head. They are still amorphous though, which means they can fit through a keyhole, or the big bad evil guy's big bad bouncy dumpy. Did you know that they have dark vision and not blind sight? Yeah, you figure that out. I'm not going to. Then we have Boss, the big hoss. When they get all growed up, due to a biological anomaly, they inflate in size like Sonic and start bullying things around them. Bullying, as you all know, works like magic and puts you into seats of power. They usually end up acting as surprisingly smart, goopy guild heads, crime bosses, slime bosses, captains, and political gooballs. They make for a solid minor antagonist in your campaigns. I mean, I guess not that solid. They're okay, they're slightly stronger than the guy who holds his pistol like that. Also, weirdly, the fatter one has uncanny dodge, but he has to be able to see the attacker. Just look at him really quick. What the fuck does that mean? And since that's pretty much all that I have on these guys, that's basically plasmoids. This video was a bit of a last-minute retcon to the video I was actually working on, but yeah. I took a year off. I didn't really mention it to anybody, but now I'm back. making more videos for viewers like you, and making tabletop content. With the situation right now, even if the worst happens, which at this point is entirely hearsay, myself and Ghostfire will cast a broader net while Hasbro's new accounting advisors burn down the game that we love. I hope you guys had a great 2022. I'm happy to have you all back. And real quick, this video was sponsored by Ghostfire and their upcoming Kickstarter, which is potentially their last OGL project on the site. And if they're going out, they're still going out with a bang. They're bringing us 2 books that further expand on their first IP, Grim Hollow. This will be a combo move, with the first book being The Raider's Guide to Valika, an icy setting guide from the northern regions of Atharis, with raid mechanics, martial maneuvers, subclasses, feats, and 2 new transformations, giants and worms. These things will actually have, detailed text to read. And then the Saga of Seasons, a year-long adventure that takes you through the life of a raider as you battle through all 4 seasons. As a little closing message from both Ghostfire and myself, support smaller teams. I already said that in the video, but I know some groups are coming together for Project Black Flag, which is going to be a forever open system of mechanics from really cool game designers. Also, at this point, I just saw the Wizard statement that went out yesterday after editing this video, and I still hold what I said. Just wait for the actual OGL because nothing else is going to matter. Until the next video, goodbye.